It's a story we've been following for a few weeks now. Several private schools in North York that have continued to stay open despite emergency orders to shut down. After a month-long investigation, Toronto Public Health is now beefing up lockdown regulations to enforce these closures.
If you go by either in the morning at drop-off time or pick-up time, it's just streams of children coming out.
This is a scene neighbors are concerned about. Crowds of kids walking to school, a staff parking lot full of cars, and parents lining up for drop-offs and pickups. A few blocks away at another school, we saw a steady stream of students loading on to a yellow school bus. Both schools tell us they are no longer teaching. Instead, they are functioning as a place of worship, holding religious services 5 hours a day. And while the provincial regulation states there is a limit of 10 people per service, school officials say they've been holding multiple services at a time with 10 people per room. About a week ago, CityNews took these concerns to Toronto's top doctor.
You're quite right. This is something that we are aware of, and it's something in which public health staff, amongst others, are involved in investigating.
Toronto Public Health is now beefing up the original shutdown regulations to include all gatherings involving students. The new Section 22 order limits in-person attendance of school-aged children across all educational settings, not just schools within the meaning of the Education Act. And it limits in-person student attendance as much as possible, regardless of whether they qualify as in-person teaching or instruction. The city says this order does not specifically target private schools or religious facilities, but it applies to any business operating a program or activity for school-aged children.
I'm very happy to see that they've been working diligently to try and find a solution to close the loophole that would allow these schools to open.
In response to this, a school official tells CityNews, "We are disappointed by the imposition of a city order that will curtail the ability of our school-aged children from attending religious services and practices. We will abide by provisions that require school facilities to close." The statement goes on to say, "We are currently reviewing our legal options." And while concerned neighbors do feel bad for the kids, Danny tells me this is about a community getting through a crisis together.
Hopefully we'll show these schools that if we all work together, hopefully we can still put an end to COVID sooner and be able to send all the kids back to school where they belong.
Now, the one school we have been communicating with was investigated back in January. A school official tells me that they worked closely with public health officials, or rather public health, to ensure that they had a safe environment and was never shut down, fined, or charged. The school will continue operating a daycare and special needs classes, which are permitted under the regulations. The new Section 22 order officially kicks off on Monday.